Hello everybody, happy Saturday. Hopefully all of you are having a wonderful weekend wherever you are. And thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I know I wasn't on for a couple days. It's that time of year, and if I get hard breath, it's just my bronchitis is acting up, and it's just that time of year for me, and I just wasn't feeling very good for a few days. But today I'm gonna take a break off vintage, and I know so many of you love it, and I promised 30 days and I will deliver. But today I wanted to just make some holiday candy for my family. These are our holiday favorites. My grandmother loved when I made her candy. I made it every year. I would take a big plate to Christmas, to the big family Christmas, and then I would make a tower of candy in boxes and wrap it all pretty for my grandmother. And she would just nibble on it for months, and it was her favorite gift to get. I have been making candy for a very long time, since probably I was about 19. And it is something that's just a tradition that I do every year. This year is definitely a different Christmas because we are not having any big get-together. My family, with my grandmother not here this year, everybody's doing their own thing with their own families. And my mother will be with us. I thought was going to spend a lot more time out here with us this year, but she has some arthritis in her back, and it's been really, really bad, and so she hasn't wanted to make the drive out here. So she came when we had postponed Thanksgiving, and she stayed with us for a day or two, and well, a couple days, and then she left, and she wants to come back and stay longer, but she I think just wants to kind of go back and forth. So we'll probably go see her tomorrow for a little bit, and I might take some of this candy that I'm making today. But I wanted to share these recipes with you guys. So that is what we are gonna do today. And Charles has a big pile of stuff here, and I'm gonna turn it over to him. I get together the stuff that we're gonna make. I'm gonna turn it over to him, and he can tell you what's going on here.
All right, well, so today we are making some progress forward on getting things arranged and organized and kind of figuring out how we're going to get everything out of storage so we can stop paying for the storage unit. Yesterday I had a basement professional come out. It's a father-son operation, been in business for about 30 years, and I had him take a look at the exterior wall. So I only have one wall in this house that is, I guess, soil around it versus concrete, because I've got the cistern, I've got this patio I'm standing on now in the back, I've got the front porch. So the only wall that doesn't have any kind of concrete poured around it actually does have some foundational structural issues where the pressure from the outside is actually pushing in on that wall. And it's not bad, but I did see the structural cracks start to develop in the last couple of weeks, so I had him come out, and what we decided to do with that is put 5 structural support beams on that wall to reinforce it so it doesn't cave in anymore. And then we'll watch it to make sure I don't have any moisture intrusion, and if I don't, then the plan will be to go ahead and start framing out and finishing that basement sometime probably the middle of next year. I got to get through the spring rains just to make sure we're good and dry, and we don't need any floor drains or anything like that, so we'll see how that goes. But in preparation for all of this, now that I kind of know that we're structurally sound and some of the moisture I'm seeping through the floor down there is not a big deal, it's just more of a humidity type issue, I'm ready to go ahead and start swapping some things around. So with the kids' help already this morning, I put them to work. We pulled out this huge pile of stuff that was in the basement. It's pool chairs and stuff we brought from the other house, empty boxes that we don't need right now, but we could compost them, or we could use them around plants or something, so I don't just want to throw them out if they have a dual purpose. Oh, I got really dark there. So a lot of boxes and things. I don't want to throw those out just in case, because they might have a dual purpose, so no sense in waste. I'm going to take all this stuff down to the barn. One of them is my storage unit tray. So I've been needing to get the trays in it, so I got to get the storage unit down there. Before I do that though, I am going to go ahead and bring down racks for the basement and start setting up racks in the basement. so that I can get things up off the floor, get the boxes organized, kind of take a look, see if there's anything else that doesn't need to be down there. And if it doesn't, I'll bring it up to this pile and we'll take it down to the barn, and we're gonna put that loft to good use and get the stuff up out of the way. So this is gonna be a huge day for just getting ourselves organized. It is a beautiful sunny day. No chance of rain this afternoon, which is fantastic, but it's way too soggy and wet to get anything done on the property today. And it's kind of chilly out here anyway. So, all right, with that, I'm gonna head down to the barn. I'm gonna get the racks and things we need, throw them in the back of the truck, bring them down here. The kids are gonna help me load them. And then we'll kind of show you what we ended up with kind of before and after once we get those set up down here.
So Ronnie is making some lunch. What are you making?
I'm making a toast, pickle, cheese, olive, maybe lettuce sandwich. Looks so good, doesn't it?
I think that sounds awful.
It's so good. I've had it before.
Let me know if anybody agrees with her and thinks that that sounds delicious.
I like all of them, so.
Olives, pickles, and cheese on toast.
Yeah. Sounds really good.
All right, so the first thing that I'm gonna make, and I'm actually gonna do this today and tomorrow, because it's already after 2, it's about 2:30, and I'll probably get about 3 different things made today, and then I'll do like 3 or 4 tomorrow. I will freeze some of it so that I have it ready on Christmas Day. My mom comes over on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and I'll have a little platter of candies ready. And Charles wanted to give some to our new neighbors, so we will make up a few little candy boxes. So anyway, first thing I'm gonna do is Luke does not really do candy. Luke eats suckers and Sour Patch Kids. That's it. That's the only candy that Luke likes. And very basic flavors of candy as far as that goes too. Grape, cherry, orange, lime, lemon. Just very basic. So Dum Dums are like his favorite candy ever. So first thing I'm gonna do is make up a great big sucker for Luke and a great big sucker for Theo, and they'll think that they've like hit the gold. Okay, so here you start with 1 cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of corn syrup, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. One of the things that you always want to do is, I'm going to put this on a medium-high, and this is something I learned years and years ago candy making, and that is you always want to use wooden spoons. The metal does something to the candy itself, and wooden is always best, which I always prefer the wooden utensils anyway. We are going to let this come to a boil, a good boil. And we're going to clip on our candy thermometer. Now once this starts to boil, we're going to let this get to 300 degrees. So all the way up here on, or hard crack, which mine even says that that would be hard crack stage. Then we will add our food coloring and our flavorings. So here are the flavorings that I'm going to use. I have an apple, I have a grape, a tangerine, and a cherry, and I will make all this into one big sucker, and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. When this is done, I will just divide this into 4 different little bowls, add my flavorings, and then I'll do green food coloring, purple, orange, and like a red, pink, and then I'll swirl them around and make a really pretty sucker. If you put this in water, a drip, this is hard cracking. It turns into just a hard candy. Okay, and here's where you want to work a little bit fast. I'm going to put some of it in a bowl. Okay, I put a little bit in this bowl. You see it's already getting hard. Just got to move really fast. I'm going to go on and make this one red. And I'm going to add a little bit of cherry flavoring. And just a little bit more of this because it got too hard too fast. Just going to show you. You can take your sucker. I'm going to start with the center. Cherry. Big one for both boys. Now I'm going to just use these little skewers, and I just want to push one in. Each one. I made you the coolest sucker ever.
What's it made of?
Sugar. That's what suckers are made of. Lick it. Sugar. The outside is grape. Then there's tangerine and apple and cherry.
Like this?
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's delicious?
Yep.
It's yours. I need to go give Theo his. You can bite a little piece off or lick it. You can bite a piece or lick it.
There.
Theodore. Look, G made you a special sucker. The biggest sucker ever. Do you love it?
It is a big sucker.
Do you love it? Do you make it just for you?
Oh my gosh, I see it. Eat it, baby. Eat it. Try it.
Is this so good? Good job. Did G make the best sucker ever?
It's an early December morning. No one but we are. We look out the window as it's starting to snow. And I realize as you hand me the coffee cup, I'm falling just like these snowflakes, tumbling down, round and around. I'm falling just like these snowflakes, falling for you, falling for you. Hadn't counted on love for Christmas. This caught me right off guard. But I ain't complaining, it's a wonderful present. A gift that comes in the shape of a heart. And now I'm falling just like these snowflakes, tumbling down, round and around. I'm falling just like these snowflakes, falling for you, falling for you.
Okay, next we're gonna make one of Charles's favorite, which is chocolate covered cherries. One of the first things we're gonna wanna do is take, I've got these maraschino cherries with stems on it, and I'm gonna dump them and drain it. And paper towels. And put my cherries on that. Okay, now I'm just gonna kind of pat them with the paper towels. I don't want to smash them, but I want them as dry as I can get them because that will help the filling to stick better to them. And we're just gonna set this aside. Okay, now we're gonna start with the creamy center. Sorry, my fingers are gonna be kind of food colored now. You're gonna start with a half a stick of butter. We're gonna do a half cup of corn syrup. Then it calls for 1 box of powdered sugar. I just have these big 2-pound bags, so I'm gonna use a half a bag. I'm gonna add vanilla. And then I like to add a little bit of almond extract. That's optional. Then honestly, the best way that I have found to do this is get in with your hands. We're gonna mix all that together. Okay, and then you're gonna line a pan with parchment paper. You're gonna pinch off some of this dough. If your hands are a little bit damp, it works a little bit easier. Then you're gonna put your cherry in and wrap this around it. Just kind of give it a little roll. And just like that, that's your cherry. If you can let these sit for a few days, it does get a more liquidy center. They never typically last that long at our house. Okay, I'm gonna go set these now to cool off. With this, you want to either put them in your freezer, your fridge, or if it's cold enough outside, many a times I've covered them and just put them in my car because it's as cold as being in a fridge, sometimes even a freezer, depending on what our weather is here in Ohio. But we'll let it sit for like a half hour, 45 minutes. You could even do it the day before, however you want to do it, but it needs to be good and firm in order to dip it into the chocolate. Because if you dip it in the chocolate right now while it's a bunch of goo, it's just going to be a gooey mess. It will not coat with the chocolate and it will not go good. So get that into a fridge or freezer. Like I said, half hour, 45 minutes, all day, all night, however it is you want to do it, but at least a half hour. All right, we've come down to check on Charles. Wow, look at this awesome basement. Look at this. He got the everything set up. The treadmill should work. We need to try it and see. Theo, jump on it and show me.
Okay.
Whoa, you good jumper. Good jumping. Look, I think they're gonna plan on putting some of Theo's toys there so he's got like a little place to be. And then look at that. Excellent job. I love it.
Thank you. I'm about ready to bring stuff down from the garage now. That's the emptiness on this side.
Yay! And then we'll finish up getting whatever we need from storage. As you see, boatload of laundry needs to be done back there. But eventually this will be finished off here. And here, I don't know if he showed you, is the crack he was kind of talking about, if you guys can even see. But you can feel it definitely poking out. And it runs all the way along.
So I left everything open enough that when they come in February, I don't have to move any of these racks. They should be able to get in and do whatever they need to do on the back wall.
Perfect. Okay, while that's cooling, I am going to move into Buckeyes. Buckeyes are something here in Ohio that everybody knows what a Buckeye is, and they are wonderful. They're like a Reese cup kind of thing. They're so good. That is actually my kid's favorite, and it's a candy that I don't even know when it came around. It has been forever. This is though an original recipe. A lot of them now have Rice Krispies in them or all different stuff. This is just a real smooth peanut butter filling wrapped in chocolate. So here's how you make these Buckeyes. Okay, so here you're gonna start with about 6 tablespoons of soft butter. Okay, and then about 2 cups of confectioner's sugar, powdered sugar. This really doesn't have to be perfect. If it's too runny, you can always add a little more sugar. If it's too dry, add a little bit more peanut butter. Then we're gonna add some vanilla, 1 cup of peanut butter, and just stir this all up. Again, this is another one you're gonna just wanna get in with your hands here soon. Then all you do with these is take it, roll it in a ball, and we're gonna put these in the freezer when they're done so that they will dip into the chocolate. Hey, check it out. All right, now those are in the freezer. I made a big tray of them. I forgot to show you right before I put them in the freezer, but I'll show you when I get them out. Those need to sit for like a half hour or so in the freezer to firm up as well. And then I'm just gonna talk to you about chocolate. You can melt chocolate chips. You can get whatever chocolate you want. I use what's called Merkin's chocolate. It's what I've always used for many, many years. It's the best one I've ever found because it hardens and then it doesn't melt in your hands and get everywhere, and it just stays good and hard. But I can only find that online now. So just whatever kind it is that you guys want to use, but that's what I'm going to use for my melting chocolate.
Don't sneeze, Theo. Don't sneeze. 20! Oh no, he went up.
You fell off the couch.
April Fool's.
Are you getting buried?
Oh, we both get into it. I'm gonna get the biggest one. Free.
You're both getting buried?
Oh no, Luke, I feel sneeze.
Oh, even the dog bed. You get the dog bed and all. Okay, so here I'm just gonna make a double boiler. So I'm gonna get this water up to a boil, and then I have this bowl that I'm gonna set on top. For those of you that don't know what that is, you can buy special pots just for this, but this works just as good. I've done it both ways.
I'm leaving.
I just filled this with a bunch of chocolates, and then again with the wooden spoon, I'll stir it until this is all good and melted, and then we'll start dipping. We'll start with our cherries and dip those in. And if you have the ones with the stem, it's literally just use the stem as your, so much easier. And then you're just gonna set it on a, and when you have them that didn't have a stem, I just roll it. Out with a spoon. Okay, I told you guys this is one of Charles's favorites, so give it a go.
I couldn't tell from that one. I have to try another one.
I knew that was coming. And those of you wondering about the beard, his son said that he cannot shave for how many years?
Well,
8 years or something like that. Perfect. All right, let's start with the Buckeyes. Let's finish those up.
2, 1, 0.
All right, quiet down for a minute. And now Buckeyes. Sorry, it is very loud. They're playing. You don't want to get all the way covered in chocolate. So just poke it. I'm just using like a kebab skewer. And that's it. Then you just pop it on your paper. Okay, and then all I do is get a wet finger and just cover the little hole that you make with the wet finger. Then something else I like to do is just take the extra chocolate and just drizzle it over top. All right, here's your taste testers for tonight. This is one of their favorites. It's one of their favorites.
Do I get 2?
One is good. We're about to do dinner. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and that wraps up today's video, and hopefully you guys try these candies because they are so good. Really, really, truly that good. We'll see all of you guys tomorrow, and have a good night wherever you are. Bye everybody.